Hello, welcome to Oscoey. Tonight's live crafting together is brought to you by this horrible cold that I've caught. So let me know if you can't understand me because I can barely understand myself. So we'll see. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to stitch my Midnight Rainbow Comet today. I really didn't want to get anybody else sick. So I'm not going to stitch my Heartman earrings probably until this weekend. So it's not good, but I don't want to pass anything on. So, and I'm not this Midnight Rainbow Comet one I'm just going to do for myself. So if you're just joining us, welcome. Hopefully I'm not too hard to understand. I don't think I've stitched at all since the last time I worked on it. So, oh my gosh, I will never be good at this. This is what it looks like right now. I still need to finish the purple. So I'm going to work on that tonight. I don't really have any announcements this week. My quarter started last week. I've been really busy with kids stuff and sickness and working and also shop stuff. So I did update some of my Pinterest boards. It's just Oscoey, I think. Oh gosh, it's a while since I've looked at that. I think it's Oscoey. Yeah, it's just Oscoey. Oh, it's Oscoey 0224 on Pinterest. I updated some of my puzzle Pinterest boards, and I didn't finish, but I am going to work on that this weekend, maybe next week. I need to update because I had put my puzzles goals post for 2023 at the beginning of the year. I made a whole big goals post on the blog, and I ended up not doing a lot of the puzzles that I had planned on because I got a lot of them from Buy Nothing, and I don't know about you. And then also my dad went to the thrift store for me. There's a thrift store by him that has really, really good prices. So I will definitely be hitting that up next time I visit him. Way better than like any other Seattle area thrift stores. I just put lotion on and I realized I need to wipe my hands because I can't stitch if I have fresh lotion. Anyways, I did all those first because I felt like this pressure from my Buy Nothing group, even though my Buy Nothing group did not pressure me at all. It was just like this like pressure that I needed to finish the Buy Nothing ones first and then pass them back on because I didn't want to hold on to them for too long because there's a bunch of other puzzlers in my Buy Nothing group. And I just, if like 5 people say they want the stack of like 4 puzzles and then it takes me a year to get through those, or I just hold on to them, like I feel guilty. So let's try the hands. I used a baby wipe because, my kids are way out of diapers for many years, but I still have baby wipes. So I did the Buy Nothing ones first, and then I did a couple of the thrifted ones. And then, of course, over the holidays, I did my that Christmas one I've been saving from Cottage Hill. My husband did most of it, but I'm still working on my Wild Kingdom shelves, the Amy Stewart one that is my New Year's start for 2024. I barely worked on it, but I've barely worked on it and I've gotten a lot done on it, even though it's 2,000 pieces. It's just I didn't even sort it. I was like, I don't want to sort this. It'll take me longer to sort it than it will to complete it because it has so many like separate sections. So I'm going to keep working on that one. And then I'm hoping to finish one more before the end of the month because I just got 4 more puzzles from Buy Nothing. I will never get through the puzzles that I paid for because there must be somebody else that does about the same pace that I do. And I don't get all the puzzles that go up there. There's, I've missed out on lots of them, but one of them was, I have them in the living room, but one of them was one of the ones that I wanted. It was on my list and I was like, oh, I got to get those. So I got them. They're only 500 piece puzzles though. And I may try and speed run a couple of them. I think that all the pieces are there. Sometimes they aren't. But the people like, where's I don't find my thread. That would have been not good. Look, I'm almost done with this thread. You can see the white. I might have bought more. Let's see. Look, it's my Comet bag of threads that I got from 123 Stitch. I don't have another skein of this purple. I have to order thread, guys, because I'm going to do this again in small. I'm going to do this again on 28 count for like a miniature. Oh no. Remember, I was not going to buy any thread this year. I was going to have a thread buying ban. I'll have to look through my other stashes. I thought I bought more. Oh no, I may run out. I don't think I'll run out on this because I think I have enough for this piece, but I have to go to Michael's this weekend. So maybe I will just go to Michael's because I really like supporting 123 Stitch. It's a small business. They have such great variety. Like that's where I found that gold flecked 25 count fabric for the Heartman, the Laguna. I got a whole yard of it and it was reasonably priced for a yard. I don't remember how much I paid. I'll be honest, because I've ordered a lot of yards of fabric like this black 16 count Aida for all of my Midnight Rainbow pieces. I just ordered a whole yard of Aida for it because I plan on doing lots of these stitches and I don't like it when you buy fabric and it's not big enough. So if you're just joining us, welcome. I'm working on the Midnight Rainbow Comet. I'm a little sick. I have this cold that is going around everywhere. Someone told me it's called the holiday cough. I'm not sure if that's what it's called, but it's not COVID. Like my husband had it first, I think. He had it first and then I got it and then one of my kids got it. I'm pretty sure the other two will get it. Because it's going around. And a lot of people I know, like my boss has it. I think she said she has the same thing I have. And like everyone is just sick. So yeah, it's not COVID. My husband gets, he's part of this study. So he gets PCR tested once a week. And it came back negative for everything. Like he gets tested for, oh gosh, I can't see. Flu, RSV, COVID, something else. But, and then we've tested also. In addition to that, we've also tested. So it's not COVID, but which is good because I have not gotten my COVID booster because I keep getting sick and I can't get a COVID booster if I'm sick. Last time it was the flu. I had a cold 2 weeks ago, a different one. And then 2 weeks before that, I had a flu, a really bad flu. Or maybe my daughter had the flu. And then I had the flu. One of my kids had influenza B. One of my daughters. And it was the same symptoms that I had. So sorry, I'm going to fight with my light right now. I don't know. It's just not a good setup because I have the shredder right here. I used to not have the shredder here. It was downstairs in my husband's office. But I moved the shredder up here because I have a ton of shredding to do. And, it was before I went back to work and he was working in meetings and, you can't really shred a large number of documents while your husband is in the middle of a meeting, like presenting to a large group of people. It's not a good thing to do. So I moved the shredder up here because I'm trying to go through it's so embarrassing. I'm going to start one of my goals this year. Okay, George is he's sticking his nose. Okay, back up, bud. He's sticking his nose in my stitching. One of the things I'm going to do this year is start posting some decluttering and organizing. I have been doing a really good job. My husband too. We've been really working on it the last year. I don't want to focus on what he can speak for himself, but I have been really working on it the last year. I've gotten through a lot of stuff, mostly the kids stuff. And then we've been slowly working on the garage and okay, I got to check my pattern real quick. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We've been working on the garage. Because, my kids have reached, I no longer have preschool kids, right? Like preschool toys are a little bit more distinct. So I really focused in the last year on getting rid of a lot of the preschool type toys because my kids are older now, right? I still have early elementary and then upper elementary, but their tastes have really changed. And I discovered during COVID, we were still in that preschool age. And then I have a niece who's slightly younger. So we kept I started going through stuff at the beginning of COVID. I'm sure a lot of people did, but I kind of stopped a little bit. I didn't go through, I got through all my baby clothes. I had 8 boxes of baby clothes because my niece is a few years younger than my son. And so I had kept stuff because I didn't know if they wanted it or not. And then they ended up just buying their own stuff. They didn't want hand-me-downs. A lot of the stuff that I had was my Buy Nothing group is amazing. So a lot of it was hand-me-downs from my Buy Nothing group. And it went through both my kids. So I understand, they only have one kid, first baby. You don't always want hand-me-downs, I guess. But, and it had been sitting in my garage. And my sister-in-law is even more of a clean freak than I am. So I think she just didn't want it in her house. But, it just needed to be washed. But I didn't have time to wash it before I handed it to them. It was 8 boxes of clothes. So I ended up giving it away on Buy Nothing, and I did it all really slowly because none of the thrift stores, I was selling it at a local thrift sale before COVID, but they all shut down during COVID, and I just didn't want 8 boxes of clothes in my storage. It was just taking up so much space. So I got rid of it all on Buy Nothing. But that was what I did the first 2 years of COVID was I got rid of baby toys. I got rid of, stuff. And then I waited a year, and then it started this year. I started getting rid of all, giving away all the preschool stuff. My kids are old enough now that I ask them every single time, I have them go through stuff, this year we did a lot of the kids puzzles, and I posted some of those on my Instagram, oscoeyzamph. But, they kind of outgrew a lot of their kids' puzzles. And, my dad, I've said before, has this really great thrift store. And most of those were bought by my dad at the thrift store for 50 cents, $1. So we had a lot of puzzles. My kids went through a lot of puzzles for a long time. They did tons of puzzles. And it's probably why they're so good at them now. They're almost as good at them than, I can't talk. They're almost as good at them as I am. So they're really good at puzzles. But we probably had 40 puzzles, and I'm not kidding. I don't know how we stored all this stuff. It's like a clown car. You pull one thing out and then you realize you have 10 more. I had no idea we had that many puzzles. No idea at all. They were just hiding all over the house. And I am sure that I have not found them all. There's some that I can't get rid of. There's a 200-piece one they want to finish first, but I know it'll take them 10 minutes to do, and then they won't let me get rid of it. There are a couple favorites that we did keep. And I kept I had all my puzzles from when I was little that my oldest daughter went through, and then my younger kids went through. So those ones I did keep. They're the old style, Ravensburger ones that were it's cardboard, and then it's a frame, and there's a picture, and then there's pictures under the picture. They're really cool. So I still have a bunch of those from when I was a kid that my mom gave me when I had she was decluttering. She kept them at her house when my oldest was little, and then I got them when she was decluttering. When my kids were little, she gave them to me. I may have borrowed some of them and not returned them. Anyways, my poor mom. She doesn't need them though. She'd probably be upset. She found out I had some of those. She can't. She's she doesn't. She won't be that upset, but things kids do. My daughter, my oldest, she borrows stuff from us all the time, and half the time she doesn't return it. Like, I found out that my flat iron moved with her when she moved out 4 years ago. I had no idea. I hadn't used it because my hair was really short and curly for a long time. Anyways, I don't know what my point is. My point is, I think that I'm going to do these decluttering videos. Decluttering and organizing, probably starting with my office. The problem is I don't have blinds on my window. Well, I do. You can see them. Ooh, right there. They're very broken. Oops, and I put my thing through the wrong thing. Luna, when she was a puppy, this is how long they've been broken, 2 years. We left her and George in here for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. I ran to the store and came back. Got back and she had completely busted the blinds, barking at somebody walking by the house. And we haven't replaced them because they don't sell this color anymore. And if we replace them, we have to replace all of them to get them to match in the front of the house. And that's a little expensive. So that's why we haven't done it. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, we really should have just bought, because my sons are broken too in his room. And his are broken because both my kids, my younger 2 kids, broke them. But he broke them the worst. So kids break things. This is why we can't have nice things. At some point we'll replace them, but we really need to buy blinds for the back of the house too. And like, we have really big windows in the back. So it gets really expensive. And then, like, we were going to get them right before COVID hit, but then, or no, because we got Luna during COVID. I think we were going to replace my sons during COVID because he had broken them. But that's when we found out about the colors, and we were like, well, you're not going to buy one when we need like 5. I don't know. And they doubled in price. So instead of being like $100 each, they're now like $250 or something like that. So it's a large amount to replace them and then just have them be broken again because your dog decides to bark at somebody outside. You know? And who knows if the kids will break them. Who knows? I think the answer is probably yes. It's okay. There's a reason why I haven't remodeled my house, and it's because of children and dogs. That's why everything is just old. We haven't really done much since we moved in because of that. I have to blow my nose. I'm sorry. It's running a little bit. Hi, George. All right. Oh, I hope you guys are healthy. Not dealing with illness. George, you need to go away. Hi. Okay. So I had one. And I need one more. Oh, good. I was just checking to make sure my stitches lined up vertically. And 2. Oh my gosh. Okay, George, go away. If it was Luna, she would be up in my face and you guys would get to see her, but she's probably downstairs with the kids. I think he wants out of the bedroom. He's regretting his life choices right now. Are you regretting joining me in here? Yeah, I told you it wouldn't be fun. Okay. All right. So I probably will do another one of these next week on Wednesday. I guess let me know in the comments if a different time works for you. Tuesday nights do not work for me. And I can't really do them during the day because I'm working now. I don't know, maybe a weekend? I don't know. I just am so tired on the weekends. And I'm usually doing homework late now that I'm back in school again. I mean, quarters started, so. And the kids are up later, which means they're loud. And that means the dogs are loud late. And the dogs are very, very loud, and they're loud. All right, I have 2, and then I go over 3. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of thread. 1, 2, 3. I might do a video this weekend, though. I was thinking of filming something. I'm going to get a new thread. I was thinking of filming like a list of projects, but my list of projects is insanely long. And it's not even like projects for the shop. Like I bought a Lego set for myself to start with the kids, and I ended up not for Christmas, and I ended up not doing it because there was no space on the table for me. I think that's why my husband didn't start his either. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my thread. There it is. I bought him one too, so we could all do it together as a family, and there was no space on the table. Those kids left their Legos everywhere. So, I don't know. I got to finish this big puzzle and then probably do one of the 500-piece puzzles. And then I think I will probably do my Lego set, which I really, really want to do. But I know it's going to take me forever, right? Sorry, I got to have some water. I know it's going to take me forever. So, especially since my son is going to be in school and not helping me as much as I would like. He's really good at Legos. I got him an adult set because it's the only ones that take him forever, more than like 20 minutes. If that. One of the sets, there was like a freebie set that I gave him, and that one took him under 10 minutes. So, yeah, he's something else. I can't believe how good he is at Legos. But during COVID, that's all he did because we had to work and COVID school our middle daughter. So he did a lot of Legos during COVID. All right. How many of these do I need? I need to go 3 past. All right. Well, oops. This is where I'm at. I don't know. What do you guys think for next week? Do you guys want me to work on this next week? I need to finish it. I really do. And I do not have time to stitch it other than this. So, because I have so much other stuff to do. I realized at 7 o'clock today, half an hour. I came in here to get some prep done for the live, and I realized I had not done my assignment that's due tonight, and I know I'm going to be too tired to do it after this, because I also have to write my book review that's coming out tomorrow, the We'll Meet Again book review. And I did a lot of the prep work for that one too. I have all the photos up there. I did my artwork. I posted that on my Instagram last weekend. I did that Monday, I think, actually. Boy, it feels like it was a whole week ago, but it was only Monday and today's Wednesday. 2 days ago, I did the artwork for that. So that's all done. I just have to write it. And it's going to be a really short review. I don't like making them really long. I like just having them brief, like a little bit of a synopsis. And I guess I'll give you guys a spoiler since there's so many of you watching. I think I really like that book. I forgot the ending. And so it was like this time when I read it, I don't have it with me. I don't have it with me. It's on the couch. When I read it this time around, it was like I'd read it for the first time. Oh my gosh, the ending is so good. It's such a spoiler. I highly recommend it. So I don't know if I can get rid of it. I think I've gotten rid of one of my books. One. But Pearl Cove, I definitely do want to get rid of once I find the first 2 books. So another one of my things I want to do, hold on, 1, 2, 3. Okay. In the next few weeks, like on my list of things to do, is to go to the library and see if they have it and then reserve it. Because if I read them from the library, those ones, like those little like kind of junky books, I don't mind getting from the library. I had this thing, like, if I'm going to read a book and I'm going to keep it, I want to be like, crack it open brand new. I don't know. I really like that. Like, it has your own touch and feel to it. Did you guys have that same thing with books? Like, oh, wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Like, I had to replace a book. Oh, I was so upset. So upset because it was one of my favorite books from middle school. And I had bought it new in middle school. And I had read that thing like, I don't even know how many times. It was very well loved. And I got halfway through it and Luna ate it. And I had to buy a replacement. And guess what? It was out of print. I had to buy someone else's used copy of the book because the library didn't even have it. I couldn't even finish it. And I was so upset. It's got somebody else's like crease marks in it. And, you know, it's stained on the outside, which is fine. Like, if it had been my book, I wouldn't have cared. But it's got someone else's like reading style all over it. So I don't know. It's a really good book. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's The Unlikely Ones. And I don't remember her name, but I think it's Mary something. Mary Brown, maybe. And it's a pretty horrible book, but I love it. It's a book that was like groundbreaking to me in middle school, but now that I've read the next time, I was like, oh, there's some really bad things in here that I totally did not understand when I was reading it the first time. You know, you guys ever have books like that where you read them the second time and you're like, oh gosh, I don't remember any of this when I read it the first time. Yeah, there's some pretty awful stuff in there. So, but I don't remember how it ends, and I'm going to read it again. I'm halfway through, but like I lost my place. So I decided what I was going to do was not finish it until I had forgotten what I had read. I was going to read a bunch of other books in between, and then I'm just going to reread the whole thing again. And if she eats this one, I don't know what I'll do. Because I had to pay a lot of money to replace it. Like, it was a used and out of print book. Like, I mean, it's just a cheap paperback that I probably paid $3 for in the 90s, you know. So I don't think I can justify paying for it a second time. I may have to look at other library systems and see if I can find it. Like, there's other library systems in my area that you don't have to like live in the city. I think there's one that you do have to live. The other ones I don't think you do. So I may just do that if she eats it again. But I'm going to be really careful with it because I don't want her to eat my book. I've not made any progress on The Fault in Our Stars. I started it a couple weeks ago, and I don't know. I'm kind of struggling to get into it. I think because it's really well hyped up, and I usually do not like super hyped books. I usually don't like books that are really popular. I just feel like they're kind of fluffy, and they're only popular because they paid a lot of money to advertise them. So I like kind of more out of the way authors, usually. So we'll see. But my husband bought that for me new from Costco. I will definitely read it, but I also feel like it might be a heavy book, and I'm really not into heavy books right now, if you can't tell. Like, Memoirs of a Geisha was a little heavy, though, I guess. But it's like light heavy, you know? It's not heavy. It's not like that Wally Lamb book. I Know This Much Is True, I think it's called. It's got a black cover it's like twins, and one of them is schizophrenic. That's really heavy. That was a popular book. I kind of liked that one, but it wasn't like one of my favorites. I do have that one downstairs. It's probably going to be, no, I haven't brought it up yet. So it's probably going to be like my 5th or 6th, like, reading before I give away books. I just can't read heavy books when I'm in school. I do so much reading. Like, right now I'm reading the Pembroke. And if you have read the Pembroke, you know what I'm talking about. It's very dry and technical. And I'm also reading the Project Management in Practice. Oh, That one's a hard read. I was supposed to finish chapter 2, and I'm struggling to get through it. But not only do I have to read it, like, it's not just like reading it. Like, if I was just reading it, it'd be okay. But I have to read it, and then I have to write like 5 different assignments on the same chapter. So like, I have to read it more than once, and I have to read it to really understand it. And then I have to like form it into the coherent thoughts. Like, I say this like I've never been in school before, and you guys probably have never been in school either, but it's a different kind of reading than just reading a fluff book for fun. So I don't know. It was definitely a transition to go back to school. Like, my degree is in science. I have a bachelor's in science. So I've done a lot of like really heavy schooling. But man, that accounting book was it was tough. The first quarter, like having to remember like what I read right away so I didn't have to read it 10 times. Oh man. I definitely had to work on my reading comprehension and my writing. Like, it's been a while since I wrote an essay, and I had to write one last quarter. It was the first one I've had to really write. It was so much easier than I remembered it when I was in college before. It was only 2 pages. I remember having to write like 7 or 8 page research papers, and this is just like 2 pages of, I don't know. I did really well on it because I do a lot of writing for the blog, you know? It's a lot different though. All right, I ran out of thread. So this is where I'm at. Yeah, blog writing is way different than essay writing. That's for sure. But I did great, and I've gotten back into it. Like, you know, it just takes time. I don't know what I'm going to do with all the free time I have when I'm done with school. What am I going to do? I'm going to finally finish my puzzles and read my books. That's what I'm going to do. Actually, it'll be summer, so I will be outside. I probably won't do a lot of reading or puzzles this summer. I like to spend my summers outside. I don't really clean. I don't really cook. We just hang out outside and garden and go to the beach, go to the park. We do fun stuff. We get so little sunshine here that you have to really take advantage of it when you have it. So, hang out with friends. Do a lot of hanging out with friends in the summer. My kid's schedule is way different. It's pretty packed right now. It's going to be packed. It's just the way it is. The older your kids get, the more stuff they have to do. Okay, whew, I got that threaded. I don't know if I'm going to use the light. Oh, maybe I will. My eyes are so blind. My sinuses are swollen, and it always makes my eyesight funky. I don't know if that's a sign of something worse than just a cold, but every time now I get this really bad sinus swelling every time I get sick. My vision gets blurry. So I'm supposed to go see somebody about it, but I just don't have time to even call and schedule an appointment. And they're all so far out, booked so far out. So I don't know. My kids get the same thing. When they get sinus stuff, their faces get swollen. So I don't have a sinus infection. It's only been a few days, like 3 days. But definitely I'm congested. It's hard to sleep. So, all right. Let's see. I finished a whole row. You're probably not as excited as me. Okay, a couple minutes gone by. George is looking at me like I betrayed him. He doesn't get to go downstairs and sit with the kids. Poor dog. He should not be going up and down the stairs because he's got arthritis. Does not stop him. And I can't put the baby gate back up because Luna just knocks it over. And I'm really worried that she'll knock it over and fall down the stairs. Because she's insane. She's our crazy girl. Okay, this one is also too. Okay, so that row is done. Okay. We passed. Oh my gosh. I'm really glad because my nose was bright red earlier. It looked like Rudolph. I put a whole bunch of cream on it, hoping it would not look red. I'm now being breathed on. If you have a golden, you know the breath. They breathe on you. They want stuff. George, go lay down. You're tired. Just lay down. Crazy dog. Crazy dog. Yeah. Anyways, I feel like it's probably everyone else's got stuff going on. I might try and do one of these in the morning. It's just hard because I have to work and I'm not like, I really can't do them until the kids leave for school. And usually I'm not ready by then. And before the kids go to school, I don't get ready until after they go to school. So then that only leaves me like half an hour in the morning. So I guess if you are still watching, leave a comment. Mornings work for people? Oops, let me check my pattern. Oh gosh. I almost messed up my pattern. I should probably figure out how to do this so that you can see me stitch. I know I can do it. I don't have the spoons to figure it out right now. I just don't. I'm always short on time. So I just do the best I can. That's what we do. I'll probably do some decluttering or organizing videos. Maybe this weekend I can do one. My oldest daughter is coming over, so I don't know. It's always extra chaotic when she's here because everybody is so excited. Even though she's here every weekend. Well, not every weekend, but she's here at least once a week. Sometimes she even comes midweek after work and eats leftovers. Pops a little laundry in during dinner. It's totally fine. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing that my adult child is over frequently. Right? I would not have voluntarily gone to my parents' house if I had not had a child to visit with. I don't think at this age. So I think it's great. I think it's good that we have the kind of relationship where she feels comfortable stopping by and raiding the fridge, eating all my food. She still has not taken her Christmas present home. Still, it's gigantic and it's sitting in my living room. I threatened to return it last time I saw her. So maybe when I get off of this, I'm going to remind her again. Because it's taking up a large chunk of my living room right now. And I do not want it in my living room right now. I need that space for other stuff, like moving my stack of puzzles out of my office into the living room. I don't think my husband would be happy if I did that. But I can't clean back there because it's like we have big dogs. So, you have to dust and mop all the time. But I can't get back behind it because it's so big. So I don't know. All right. I think I'm going to finish this thread and then I'm going to call it a night because I do still need to write my post for the We'll Meet Again book, which was amazing, by the way. It was amazing. I have not had that kind of plot twist. Like, it's really twisty at the end. And then if you go back and read it, you can find the clues. So I may read another book by her, but I'm not buying new stuff this year, except for apparently I'm buying thread number 333, DMC 333, because I'm out of thread. But I am going to Michael's, though. I'm just going to look at their jewelry supplies and see, because the earrings that I made, I do have one here. I think they need a couple of little like links or something to make it like a little bit more dangly. So I was going to see what they have at the store at Michael's. And then I also, oh my gosh, see, I'm adding another project to my list. This is horrible. I'm also, see how it's like, there's like no dangle in between the hoop and the fishhook part. I was thinking if I could find a couple of like links that are small enough to put on there to make it a little bit more dangly. So I cannot order those online because I have a hard time with stuff like that, like judging the size. Like my brain cannot translate it if it says like 5 millimeters or whatever. I don't know. I have to look at it to see how big it is. So I was going to go to Michael's. I was going to go to Michael's because instead of like Joanne, or I don't shop at Hobby Lobby if I can avoid it. But Joanne, instead of Joanne, Joanne's fine, I guess. They're just really big. There's no small craft stores in my area. Otherwise, I would go there. Definitely support local. That's why I order from 123 Stitch. It's because they're smaller. But they have like I've always wanted to do like, because I'm gonna work on the miniature stuff this year for 2024. I think I mentioned last week, like my goal is to do a dollhouse, and I am going to the thrift store this weekend to look for a dollhouse because I'm trying to buy used. But Michael's has like a wooden, like it's for making those little book nooks. And I thought that might be a good way to like get the ball rolling, is to make a little book nook with like some crafting stuff in there. Because remember, I want to have like be very meta and have my craft room in my dollhouse so it looks with all my pieces up, right? Wouldn't that be cool? So I don't know. I was gonna see how much they are. I know with my construction skills that I will not be able to make it square if I try and do it out of cardboard or something. So I'm definitely gonna go to Michael's and get the little like it's like a really thin wood insert that you just pop into the bookshelf. So I'm going to try and turn that into like a little mini craft room, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't know. So this is where I'm at. I didn't finish the purple. I'm going through this purple really fast. Look, there's way more holes in it. So I'm gonna get one thread. Well, I'll probably buy 2 of these because first I'm gonna look behind me and see if I have it, because I thought I ordered more of this one, but I don't know. But I'm definitely going to buy a couple of them because I'm gonna do more of these Midnight Rainbow Comets. So and it's the same purple that I used like in the Midnight Rainbow tree. I tried to keep the colors consistent with this release, the shop release, and the hearts. So I use the same, like I try to use the same colors in all 3 of them. So I was also thinking of doing cross stitch patterns for those too. Because, why not? But I was going to make miniature versions of them and make them into like little pillows for couches and stuff. And then maybe I can fit some of them in the hoops. So that's my plan for this weekend, is to find a dollhouse that I can refinish. Get another couple of these skeins if I can't find them in my stash back there. And then I also need to look for that little bookshelf thing at Michael's and see if they have it, and then get the chains for my earrings. So it's a long list, but plus I have to finish all my schoolwork, everything else. I'll probably declutter a little bit too. I need to go through all the Christmas decorations because I have all my mom's. She doesn't want them anymore, and she had literally 10 boxes. I went through one box a couple weeks ago, but like there's a lot of duplicates. You know, I don't need 5 tree skirts. I don't need 8 million lights, and all of hers are really old. They're not the LED ones, so I've been passing them on from my Buy Nothing group. But I have a lot going on. I have a lot of projects going on, but I was thinking of making a list and making like a spreadsheet and then sharing it with you guys. So let me know what you think about that. I'm also going to start another pattern, probably designing another pattern this week for the February shop update. I'm starting to think about that a little bit. I may do a sale in March. I don't know, my shop anniversary and my blog anniversary in March. Not the same number of years. I think the blog anniversary this March is, I started in 2015. Oh gosh, it's been 8 years. 2016. No, because I started after, maybe it was 2017. So it's been 7 years, right? Yeah, 7 years. And then the shop is about a year at the end of March. So you heard it first here. I may do some sort of sale. And it'll probably be a friends and family sale. So you will need to sign up for your email to get on the email list for the shop website, which you can do when you go on the shop. There's either a pop-up that comes up or there's like a sign up button. And I do not email that frequently. I only email new product lines and sales if there's a sale. And then every once in a while I'll email if there's a live coming up, but yeah, like I don't want to spam you guys. So I don't always email these out. And that's probably why, like, I don't really advertise these. So it's probably why I don't have that many people that show up right yet. But you know what? I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to hold myself accountable and keep working on my stitching every week, even if it's just by myself. So I really appreciate everybody that showed up today. Thank you for joining us. Please check out my Instagram, oscoeyzamph. I think it's linked in the description. And I guess I will see you guys next week. I'll tell you guys now, I'm not going to be doing this on Valentine's Day. It's a Wednesday, and I've already decided to skip that week. But that's not for another month. So there'll be plenty of them in between. I'm also not sure about 2 weeks from now. I think there's something else going on, and I can't remember what it is. But I may not have one that week. But definitely next week I'll have a live. So check it out next week. I'll post the link in my Instagram. I'll probably have it up this weekend. I'll have it ready to go. And then also I've been posting it on the Women's Personal Finance Woven group. If you're a part of Women's Personal Finance, if you're not, you should be. They're an amazing group. So shout out to them. So thank you for joining me. As always, we appreciate you and welcome. I hope you guys are getting some time to yourself to do self-care, do what you love, crafting, walking, reading, watching TV, whatever it is that you like to do that helps you reduce your stress. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your week. Thanks.